To some more stories this afternoon, a survey by the Global Info Analytics has revealed that half of the voters in Dom Kwabenya constituency still favor the embattled MP Adwoa Safo and will vote for her. Now, according to the survey there, at least 50.3% of voters are very likely to vote for the current MP who, as you recall, has been away for over a year now. 30.6% are very unlikely to vote for the MP and 19.2% are neutral. Again, according to the Global Info Analytics survey, 29.7% of voters believe the country is headed in the wrong directions, while 70.3% say that the country is headed in the right direction. Well, contrary to the survey, some residents in the Dom Kwabenya constituency say that they have made up their minds about voting out incumbent MP Adwoa Safo, who has been out of the country since last year. Some of the residents say even though they voted for her during the last elections, her conduct and long absence means she cannot continue to lead the constituency.
We are fed up with elections. Life is unbearable for us as prices of goods have shot up. Both NDC and MPP are the same. They make promises but never fulfill them. Politicians make big promises but don't fulfill them. Even if we vote for a new MP, things will be the same. I have vowed never to vote again.
The
Our MP, Adwoa Safo, has disappointed us. If we don't get anyone that will give us hope and develop our constituency, then we are worse off. We are even unaware of a child sickness. She's acting otherwise on social media.
Well, just gone by some reactions of constituents of Dom Kwabenya, but let's go on phone now and speak with my colleague Komla Dom, who is currently stationed there and joins us via phone. Komla, just gone by, we heard 3 of the residents saying that they will not vote for Adwoa Safo again, but the survey says that over 50% of these individuals will actually vote for her. What do you think? What are you picking up on the ground?
You know, traditionally, this constituency, Dom Kwabenya, is hugely NPP biased. So since 2004, when you look at the results of the elections and the percentages that the candidates for the parliamentary elections have secured, since 2004, it's been for the NPP. It's been trading between 60.5%, it drops sometimes to 58%, climbs up again to some 57.5%. And then last year, we saw some 58% of the votes for the NPP candidate, Adwoa Safo. So you would imagine that from the figures of the elections in 2004, it's gone for the NPP. And so it's a safe seat for the NPP traditionally. However, the last election showed that the NDC appreciated up to 40% of votes, which since 2004 had not been the case in the constituency. And so you would imagine that gradually, for the period, the NDC is appreciating in terms of marginal votes or nominal votes in the constituency proper. But the survey, as the Global Info Analytics has found, is that yes, even though it's a safe seat for the NPP, it is a hugely NPP-dominated constituency. So you would have 50% of people saying they're going to vote for the NPP and incumbent. However, the significant indicator from the survey, as they have found, is that some 27% plus are saying they're not going to vote, and then there's a whopping 19% who say they are not voting for any of the candidates or any of the parties at all. And so that's where the dynamics begin to change or begin to shift. So even though it's an NPP-dominated constituency, the dynamics in terms of even the candidates that will be standing for election will play a key role in the voting dynamics of the people here from the conversations you have with some of them on the ground. I've been trying to get some reaction from the NPP constituency executives. They told us that they're going to react to the survey in the course of the day, and so we're waiting to see how they react to it. However, on the ground, of course, there are a good number of people who say they're not voting at all. There are still a good number of people who, based on the fact that this is a hugely NPP-dominated area, will still go ahead and vote for the NPP. They hope that a new candidate, however, will be put forward for the constituency in the elections come 2024.
Thank you so much for that update there, my colleague Komla Adom on the beat. But the Minority Chief Whip Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak says calls for Dom Kwabenya MP Sarah Adwoa Safo not to be paid as an MP and minister because she has not been available is uncalled for. The Asawase MP questions why comments are not being made for the Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs Minister Ebenezer Kojo, who has been incapacitated and has not worked as a minister nor an MP for a very long time.
Adwoa Safo, whatever challenges she's going through, is on job. Remember, if Adwoa Safo had this challenge before the 2020 election, she could have contested the 2020 election. I will not be able to disclose this to the general public. But let's not pretend as if what's happening to her is an isolated thing. And I've cited instances where you can check judges, teachers, bankers. People have genuine reasons, and people, even in this house, not only Adwoa, in the time past, it's happened to others. And on compassionate ground, because that time numbers didn't matter. Nobody even heard it. The Chieftaincy Minister, yes, it was on job that he got sick. I don't want to call it bias, but what difference does it make? For me as a whip, it's the same. That this one, yes, is able to tell me I'm sick. So because of that, I cannot come. He gets paid, he cannot do anything, he can't represent a concern, he can't come to the house. The other one cannot, maybe for some reasons. But the bottom line is that all of them are not here. They can't represent their constituency. So if the house decides that regardless of the situation, once you cannot represent your constituency, we want to take away the compassion. So if you're on the job, and on the job, something happens to you, regardless, this is the way we want to do it. We should know there will be a precedent that can eat any of us.